Hello there everyone, welcome back to Geekin Out. I'm yours truly, the Nate Meister, here for another movie review. And this time we're reviewing the most anticipated sequel of 2017.
Just who in the hell do you think you are?
Well...
That's right, Guardians of the Frickin' Galaxy Part 2. Yes, the Guardians of the Galaxy are back at full force with nostalgia galore. Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, Yondu, and Baby Frickin' Groot. Oh my god, Baby Groot is so cute throughout this entire movie. Especially in the opening fight when Baby Groot starts dancing to Mr. Blue Skies. Anyway, I was very excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2 because they were just talking about it, like waves after waves of information about cameos, all these different cameos from Sylvester Stallone. Even Stan Lee has the biggest, most controversial cameo of all frickin' time.
Hey fellas, hey wait, where are you going? Hey, you were supposed to be my lift home. How will I get out of here? Hey, G.
So let's get right into the review of Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2. James Gunn, the director of both films, Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy 2, was telling the story of the romance between Mary Quill and Kurt Russell, Ego. And I was very excited to see that because that love story was pretty much hyped up in the first film of how powerful and awesomely beautiful Star-Lord's dad was. Well, what Meredith mentioned in the first film. Ah, my god, it's getting hot on here. Ooh, this is romance, baby. Woo! We then jump about 20-30 years in the future where the Guardians of the Galaxy face off against one of the first major bosses of the film. And I was like, yes, because Mr. Blue Skies was playing, banter from one another, Baby Groot dancing. So after they kill off the tentacle-looking dog, whatever.
Yes! That was awesome!
The Guardians of the Galaxy are awarded by the Sovereign Queen who hired them to kill the creature. So after they kind of save Nebula, the Guardians head out to their next adventure. But Rocket Raccoon decides to steal some batteries, and these batteries are pretty much very expensive. So the Sovereign Queen sends out a horde of starfighters which are drone controlled from their base, so they really don't lose anybody through the process. And so far, Rocket and Star-Lord are able to fend them off long enough to survive the ordeal, and they end up crashing on another planet. But right before they do, they were saved by none other than Kurt Russell, Ego, the living planet in his human form, and his own starship as well. Ego lands in front of their crash ship, opens up his doors, and then we get the reveal from the trailer.
My name is Ego, and I'm your dad, Peter.
And there you have it, folks. That's how we start off Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And be warned, after this point, there are spoilers. So we're going to start off with the cons, the pros, cons. What? This is a perfect movie. Why is there cons? No way. No freaking way.
No, 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 no. Hell no.
Here are my issues with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Ego, the living planet. Kurt Russell and Ego Living Planet were great in this film. My only problem is the story that surrounded the characters. Everything started out fine in the beginning, but then from the middle towards the end, Ego, the Living Planet, did not seem right. My problem was the actual fact of how powerful Ego was. Like, there were moments where he was just overpowered. It just didn't make sense for the story to succeed. Now, some of you may argue the fact that Star-Lord, Peter Quill, was powerful enough to defeat Ego Living Planet because he was using the same power from the planet. The light source, the power from Ego himself. So here are my issues with that. One, if the power came from Ego, why wasn't he able to cut that energy off? That's your energy that you're creating. That's able to be shared through your children. And also, Star-Lord has not lived as long as Ego. Ego has lived for millions and millions of years. And then there was a moment where Ego could not stop the bomb from exploding. Are you kidding me? You created tentacles that grab things, that push people away. Are you serious? Or create another being of yourself, or simply a hand to grab that bomb?
That's a really bad sign.
Ego is a living planet, a being pretty much a god, a small g, a celestial as he puts it, was taken down for 5 minutes by Mantis. So, with Mantis' plot device power, she was able to put Ego, the living planet, to sleep for about 5 to 10 minutes to give the heroes time to prep and defeat him.
Dude, come on. I think you're overreacting a little bit.
You must be so embarrassed!
Alright everyone, now it's time for the pros. And yes, the pros outweigh the negatives of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Once again, James Gunn surprised us with his choice of songs that he brings symbolism to the moments of the film with these characters. And now with the brand new second soundtrack, it's even better. Like, it brings a lot more connection between the characters as they evolve through the film. Even Ego goes into detail with Star-Lord of how do they play a connection with the song Brandy by the Looking Glass.
I loved your mother, Peter. I couldn't stand to set foot on an Earth where she wasn't living. You can't imagine what that's like. I know exactly what that feels like. I had to watch her die.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 had the makings of a great sequel, but unfortunately the film got lost because it tried to do too much so quickly. Don't get me wrong, I love the comedy, especially the moments with Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, there must be some kind of peaceful resolution to this.
Baby Groot trying to find Yondu's fin.
We told you it was this big.
But what really hurt this film is how quickly Kurt Russell / Ego became the main villain of the story. I understand that Ego, the living planet, was a big baddie in the comics, but I was hoping Marvel Disney was going to do something different with the character. Halfway into the film, I was already falling in love with the idea that Ego was Star-Lord's father. I felt it was just too soon for Ego to become the villain. I would have preferred if they had continued that story to Volume 3 or gave the Sovereign Race and Queen a purpose in this film other than being comedy relief.
You know, they told me you people were conceited bags, but that isn't true at all.
It would have been cool if the Sovereign were the real villains of the story trying to destroy not only the Guardians but Ego. It would have been better if they were working with Thanos and revealed the location of Ego to him. Obviously, Ego is a Celestial and would have posed a significant threat to him. By doing this, we would have changed the whole story, of course, and Ego wouldn't be the villain, but we could have had one epic fight between Thanos and Ego. Thanos, being the Mad Titan, would have destroyed Ego, prompting Star-Lord to avenge his father in Infinity Wars. But the one thing I can say the film got right was the feels. In the end, we lost one of the great ones. Oh my god, Rocket, they got him, Rocket. Blue, they lost you, Blue. Oh, why, Yondu, why?
You're my boy, Blue!
Volume 2 was not only the Guardian's story, but Yondu's too. We learned that Yondu had done a lot of bad things most of his life, and being banished by Sakaar, his surrogate father, played by Sylvester Stallone, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was a redemption story for Yondu, and let me tell you, he went on swinging. Right after being betrayed by his crew, Yondu, Kragan, Rocket, and Baby Groot took out a whole ship filled with Ravagers. Yondu held his own against Ego's glowy tentacle arms, and had one of the best and funniest moments in the film. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
So in the end, I had to give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 a Geekin Out.
What's that?
He says, welcome to the frickin' Guardians of the Galaxy. Only he didn't use frickin'.
Alright everyone, thank you for checking us out on Geekin Out. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about Guardians of the Galaxy. What was your favorite moments? Do you believe in the cons I have or the pros? And if you like what you see, you want to see more, click that like and subscribe for me. Other than that everyone, thank you for checking us out on Geekin Out. I'm yours truly, the Nave Meister. May the fun be with you. Always.